Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 9 video lecture series. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. Students, am I audible? क्या मेरी आवाज आपको आ रही है clear? जी students, please raise your hands. Students on the Zoom class. All right. Students, we are talking about our unit number 6 of grade 9 and we are on lecture number 7. Now students, that we have covered our most of our SLOs of grammar, vocabulary and reading competency. So today we have our oral communication class and you must be very much attentive and focused, and please turn on your cameras if you can, check your microphones, because I'm going to interact with you and do with you this today's students learning outcome of oral communication. Now let's read our students learning outcome. It says, demonstrate attentive listening skills to respond orally with standard pronunciation. And this is our oral communication lecture. Now students, this SLO is repeated in most of our previous units and their lectures. Now today, as we know, we are talking about a chapter called Cry for Clean Water. And in this chapter, we have a topic where we will talk about clean water, that according to the formal letter that we have in the lesson that you must have read. So clean water is the topic. This is the topic that is under discussion, and we are going to identify, discuss on different prompts about this topic. Now students, let's start with our brainstorming session. What is the importance of clean water for human life? And the second prompt of speaking or discussion that we have is, have you or your family ever experienced water shortages or pollution or contaminated water? This is what we are going to talk about today. So students, just raise your hands if you are active, if you are attentive. Yes students, I'm waiting for you. All right. Please unmute yourself, because this is going to be a interactive lesson and we have to talk about it, and we have to talk about our today's learning outcome. Now, students, when we are talking about clean water, what do you think? What is the importance of clean water for human life? Can you unmute yourself and start discussing it? That's very good. All right. So students, clean water, in order to discuss this prompt, this question, we need to be aware of some vocabulary words like pollution, contamination, scarcity, and water conservation, etc. All these important words and terms are important and they are very crucial for our today's discussion. Now, what is the importance of clean water for human life? Now students, we know that our body is made up of mostly water, and water is very much important for life, not only for human beings but for every life on earth. Even plants, they need water. So what can we discuss about it? Can we survive without water? Yes, students from yes, Asif Javed. Yes.
We can't survive without water, without clean water.
Can you give me some three or four sentences on that, why clean water is, why do we need clean water for human life? Can you mention your name?
Dirty water, this is dangerous for our health
Yes.
because it contains most of gases and different types of germs.
Yes. Water gets contaminated if not taken care properly. Beta, can you please mention your name?
Asma.
Asma?
Yes.
All right, that's a very good answer. Can we have some more answers from other students? How many students are available?
6.
Yes, please allow others to answer and contribute in the lecture. Yes, student. What about Afia Hayat? Yes, Afia, tell me what is the importance of clean water for human life? What's your take on this? And can you give me 3 or 4 sentences? Yes, beta, unmute yourself. All right, let's move on to the next question that we have in the brainstorming session. And I would like Asma to answer me for this as well. Have you or your family ever experienced water shortages or pollution or contaminated water? What do you have to say about it? Yes,
सर पहले वाटर की शॉर्टेज होती थी जैसे
yes.
पहले
Can
हम
you
लोगों को कुएं से लाना पड़ता था
can you stick to English only?
सर आप before modern era we have to we have very shortage of water and in this era we have a bottle of water but before this era water are in
Yes.
wells well and rivers. So before this era, people go to rivers and have their water. But now we have water everywhere.
All right. So,
In
but
shops and
we are lucky to have clean water, the filtered water for drinking as we do and we use it in our daily lives. But sometimes if you just observe, there is a shortage of water as experts are saying that we are going to have very less water in the foreseeable future. So we need to take up some measures and we need to actually start taking action and conserve the water. So it means that we have to actually waste less water and we need to actually let people aware that contaminated or polluted water is dangerous for their health because it contains a lot of diseases, waterborne diseases, bacteria that can cause serious damage to our health. Is that right?
yes, sir.
All right. So, at one point or another, we can see that we have also observed that in Pakistan, there is a lack of clean water. People are getting sick. So, if you talk about your family, if you talk to your extended family, talk to your cousins about it, what kind of problems they are facing when we are talking about clean water, because clean water is good for our health and contaminated or polluted water will damage our health. So this is your task, that talk to others, make a note of it. You can make a project as well and then start talking to people about it, and then we can decide that what are the necessary measures that we can do. Now students, here we have a dialogue. This is a dialogue between two friends and they are talking about water quality issues in the city. So I hope that you can read this very well. So let's see how the communication is flowing, because we are talking about attentive listening skills. It means not only that we are going to speak, but we also need to have the ability to understand what the other person is saying and what they have to say in the topic, or what they have to say about what we are discussing. So let's go through this and see that whether this dialogue about water issue is worth it or not. So, hey, have you heard about the recent water quality issues in our city? Now, students, what kind of sentence we have? An interrogative sentence. Yeah, it's quite concerning. I read it in the news that there have been reports of contaminated water in some areas. Now, students, I'm going to highlight some important vocabulary words. So we have a word contaminated, concerning. Now, that's right. It got me thinking about how important it is to have access to clean drinking water. Absolutely. Clean water is essential for our health and well-being. Without it, we are at risk of waterborne diseases and other health problems. So waterborne is our word. It means those diseases that are transmitted through water. So they are called waterborne diseases, and diseases that are traveled and that are transmitted through air are called airborne diseases. So next, continuing the dialogue, and not just that, clean water is also vital for our daily activities. We use it for cooking, cleaning, and so many other things. So vital means important or crucial. True, and it's not just a matter of convenience, it's a basic human right. Everyone should have access to safe and clean drinking water. Now students, you must have noticed how the conversation is moving back and forth, and the concept of turn taking is followed over here, and you can find the different words, the high level vocabulary. Now, in order to increase your vocabulary, you have to use them over and again in your sentences. You have to look up for their meaning, and that's how you adopt this kind of vocabulary. Now, you must have noticed that the words used are totally relevant to the topic that we are discussing. Now, let's continue the dialogue. The friend is saying, I agree. Do you think our city is doing enough to ensure the availability of clean water? Well, they have water treatment plants, but sometimes the infrastructure needs improvement and there can be issues with pollution and contamination. It's a shared responsibility too. We should all be mindful of how we use and dispose of water. That's a good point. So, what can we do to raise awareness about this issue? We could start by educating ourselves and others about water conservation and the importance of clean water. We can also support local initiatives and organizations working to improve water quality. That's a proactive approach. Let's do our part to make sure clean drinking water is accessible to everyone in our city. Agreed, it's a cause worth advocating for, and together we can make a difference. So this is a complete and relevant discussion on clean water issues in the city. Now, here in this slide, we have marked some words. Infrastructure, it means the whole structure, the buildings, the whole structure where water can be treated, water can be preserved and conserved, etc. Contamination means if you add something polluted in water, it gets contaminated. So, dispose of water, it means how we are able to use the water. We should use according to our need and not waste water. Another word is conservation, then initiatives. Initiatives are the steps, the approach, the action that you do in order to get something working, in order to get your plan working. Proactive approach. Proactive means an approach that talks about action. that is a very active approach where we do that to actually eradicate the problem. So such kind of approach is called a proactive approach where actions are needed and they are done. Then advocating for to speak in the favor of and to talk about it so that the awareness is spread and people can get educated about it. So now students, just like this discussion, we can have so many different prompts, so many different topics that we can discuss. For example, if we are discussing about uh, education system of Pakistan, we can talk about lack of resources, we can talk about waste pollution, and we can talk about gender equality and so many other topics. So you must notice that using the correct and accurate vocabulary is very much important, and also turn taking and listening is important as well. So this is a transcript. It's a transcribed version of a dialogue between two friends. You can read it again and you can find out that how we should be discussing matters and topics in a very good and smooth way. So after this demonstration of a dialogue, students, now here we have two pictures. Now, when we don't have a topic, we can also talk about pictures. We can discuss pictures. Now, who is going to tell me about these two pictures and what is your observation? What do you see in these pictures? Afia, Asma and other students, please one by one आप सब अपना अपना contribution दें और at least say one sentence in the English language and talk about this picture. Yes, students.
Sir, the first picture describes how child labor.
Are you talking about this picture?
Yes, sir, first picture.
Child labor. Okay, that is debatable. That can be discussed. What else? Water से related, पानी के मुतालिक आप देखें इस पिक्चर में आपको क्या सूरत हाल नजर आ रही है? What is the scenario that is being presented? Yes. जी शाबाश students. Okay, look at this picture.
So the drafting of water.
Yes, look at this picture on the right. As you can see that the land is actually deprived of water. There is no water. The land is cracked, and this person over here is looking up in the sky. He's hoping for rain so that the land can have vegetations and they can have water to store and water to drink. So it means that in some areas the water is actually so rare, it is inadequate for people, and people are hoping for rains so that they can actually at least get connected with water for actually vegetations and for growing vegetables and other things. So, and we can see that this is a rural kind of an area where there is so little rain. It can be due to climate change, it can be due to other factors, right? So now let's talk about this picture over here where you can see this family over here with mother and the siblings. They are holding this pots for getting water because water was not available in their surroundings. So they are traveling far away and they are looking for water. They are filling it from the wells. They are waiting for rain. So now I would like to ask the students, and अस्मा के अलावा कोई स्टूडेंट है अवेलेबल?
Yes, sir.
जी बोलें, बात करें, इस पिक्चर के बारे में आप बात करें.
Sir, the first picture show Water has no available and child want to take water.
All right.
The first describing the that the children are thirsty and they need water.
Yes, we can say that. They are in need of water. They are probably thirsty, looking for water for cleaning, for preserving, and for other matters. Now, we talked about that what does this picture convey about the severity of water scarcity. Water is very much scarce. The scarcity is and the inadequacy of water is very much problematic. Now, moving on to the second one. How do you think water scarcity impacts daily life for the people depicted in the image? Why do you think that having so little water is affecting these people's life? पानी ना होने की वजह से क्या मुश्किलात हैं इन लोगों को और इस तरह के बहुत सारे लोग in millions actually in different parts of the world. What do you think? जी स्टूडेंट्स, पानी की कमी से क्या असरात पड़ सकते हैं, क्या असरात होते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द पिक्चर? जी
Affect their health.
All right, please speak one at a time, one student at a time. Okay. Yes? G students.
Their health. Affect on their health.
Yes, it can affect their health, it can affect their daily activities, and it can also make them sick if they don't have water, enough water for drinking and enough water for actually clean water for drinking. So, and this picture over here at the right is showing us drought. कहत, पानी नहीं है. क्यों नहीं है पानी? कौन बताएगा? पानी क्यों नहीं होता? Droughts क्यों आते हैं? What are some visible signs of droughts in these pictures? क्या वो साइंस हैं जो कि पानी की किल्लत को और कहत को जाहिर करते हैं इन दोनों पिक्चर्स के मुताबिक? आप जल्दी से बताएं एक एक स्टूडेंट. जी what are the signs? If you can look, see the water, due to the unavailability of water, यहां पे क्या है कि खुश्क है बहुत. Land, the land is dry, it is arid. Why? Because there is no water, and due to water the whole, they don't have enough good nutrition, they don't have enough water to store, so they are always in crisis and they are always at the edge of their life because there is a shortage of water. But on the other hand, people are wasting a lot of water. Do you waste water? What do you think? Do you think you use water more than enough? Yes. So students, so we have seen that what the picture is conveying. We have talked about the picture, we have talked about the signs, and we have also talked about the impacts that they have on their daily life. So this is what we mean by discussing pictures. So you can have pictures as prompts and talk about it with your friends. This will improve your oral communication skills, your speaking skills, and also your listening skills, because this is a collaborative work. A discussion is a collaboration. It is actually a collaborative kind of activity that we do. So today's students learning outcome, we have achieved some things, and I appreciate the students who have actually joined and who have responded to these questions. The rest of the students, you need to speak up. So probably in one of our next oral oral communication lectures आप एक्टिव होंगे और आप एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे और तैयारी कर कर आप लेक्चर को अटेंड करेंगे. Now students, यहाँ पे if we talk about simulation, you have this YouTube video that you can watch and you have to answer the questions that are asked at the end. So just to improve your attentive listening skills, आप एक ऑडियो सुनेंगे, वीडियो को सुनेंगे और उसके बाद सवालात के जवाब देंगे. और if we talk about this link, this is British Council's link where you can get lot of different audio clips. तो इन ऑडियो क्लिप्स को जो कि डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स पे हैं, आप लोग एज अ होमवर्क व्हाट यू आर सपोज्ड टू डू इज ओपन दिस link. It's very easy to access and actually take up at least 3 audio clips on different topics and then answer questions that are followed. Now, this is your homework. Listen to discussions, debates, and audio clips of English dialogues and conversations and answer the followed questions. And the link is given, and you can find so many different videos on YouTube. You can find videos and audios. Now it's your task to find some videos and actually talk about it. Listen to the audio clips and then give your feedback. Now students, we have this PowerPoint presentation as a resource followed by these 2 links that I have shared with you. Now let's wrap up the lecture. So students, do you have any kind of question? Yes students, is everything clear? Okay. So next time when we are taking up our oral communication class, you have to be very much attentive, you have to be active and turn on your cameras so that we can have a very good and healthy discussion on the given prompts or topic. This was all about our today's students learning outcome on oral communication, and I hope that now you will follow up with the dialogues and also the attached classroom activity that you have in the book about having discussions on the given pictures. Follow the questions, answer them appropriately, and increase your vocabulary as well. This is all about today, students. Now, I will see you in the next video lesson. Till then, take care of yourselves and Allah Hafiz.